Best of luck in your future endeavors.
WWE LFG is back, and this episode opened up with BJ Ray versus Cutler James. After the unprofessional shoot last episode, tensions are incredibly high, so Bubba says, you two are gonna learn to work with each other against each other. To which this man BJ Ray enters with his AirPods in. Okay, man. And I'll be honest, the finish was quite pathetic.
And working together, look at this. There's a... Whoa, that's it.
This dude tapped out like he had hay fever and was about to sneeze. Now, Bubba, could you go ahead and sum up how I felt about Viking Raiders versus the New Day at WrestleMania 41?
It was awful. There was nothing to it. It was fucking boring.
Next, Cutler talks about where the match went wrong and says 30 seconds in, BJ Ray was huffing and puffing, saying he's so out of shape. Then BJ says it was clunky and Cutler wasn't selling any of his stuff. Cutler takes some responsibility, saying he's still learning, but if you can't make it through a 5-minute match because you're out of shape, that is a problem. Then Bubba just absolutely loses it.
You want to hug and kiss and shake hands and make up? Or you want to go out there and you want to show something? That match, I hope, never makes air on this show.
Ooh, Bubba, I have to tell you something.
If I need to whoop Cutler in another competition once again and send this dude home crying with his big ego, I'm all for it, baby.
He then tells them they're gonna go out there and do it again, but this time the stipulation is one of you is going home. But now Shawn Michaels is here again to talk about today's challenge.
Something's gonna go wrong, and you're gonna have to figure out how you deal with it.
The future greats aren't going to know what's going to go wrong, they're just going to have to adapt. Then the legends decide who is going to be in today's matches, with Bubba immediately suggesting Drake Moreau, mainly because last week when BJ returned, he pulled Drake out of that match with Cutler to go ahead and run it with BJ, and this is the apology for that. So I know you didn't get to wrestle that normal match last week, but this time around, you're going to be basically wrestling in the midst of the Cell Saga. Good luck. Mickey suggests Troy Yearwood because she wants to see a mean streak out of him. Undertaker says he's still trying to find that dog inside Tyra May Steele, while Booker T suggests an opponent.
I got somebody for you.
Who you got?
Lee Laurel. I've said it from the outset, she's gonna be a major star.
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
Booker says he's been playing it all wrong. He should see what Lee can do as a babyface rather than a heel.
Xena into the mix. The girl who does everything right, because you know Xena is the top woman in this competition.
Whoa, calm down now.
No, hang on a second. Let's let him cook, because he's 100% absolutely right. They eventually decide on Chris Island and Penina Tualepra against Xena Sterling and Shiloh Hill because they're gonna do a mixed tag today.
He's not in a good mood. No, we're off to a rough start this week.
You know, I don't know if that's as much showing that dog inside you as much as it's a 2012 YouTuber's reaction to playing Slender, but at least she's not smiling anymore.
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
We then hear from Taker and Bubba.
That might be the most amount of personality I've seen from her yet.
Thinking the same thing.
And then they talk about liking being booed.
Some people don't like to get booed.
I love getting booed.
We can tell, Bubba, you've been trying to get heel heat for, oh, that's right, the whole show. Now, the randomized event in this match is that the ropes are randomly going to break at some point. Put into the match, Booker is confused and angry about whether it's a heel or a job match.
I mean, is this a freaking heel match or what? Is this a job match? It's ridiculous.
She's about to turn it around.
It's too damn late to turn it around.
But Take responds and says Tyra is an Olympic champion. Lee can't out-wrestle her. It doesn't really make much sense to have an Olympic champion be out-wrestled by someone who does cosplay on Instagram. Allegedly. Then Bubba says the most depressing line.
This is nothing but memorization in motion. Lee does not.
I felt my soul shatter. And things get worse as Lee messes up a spot on the top rope too.
Getting yelled at, Steel overpowering. Right off that top rope. I mean, we're supposed to expect.
And then even Tyra begins to get some truly heart-wrenching feedback mid-match.
Tyra's regressing.
The reason I say heart-wrenching is because I feel like we've all been there. When you're in a class, whether it be in school or in college, and you're trying so hard to be better, but you just can't figure it out. It is stressful. And then we finally see what goes wrong with this match.
Oh! The buckle broke!
Found out what was gonna go wrong with our match. In the moment, they put a heavy task on me and Tyra that day.
What they really should have done is gone ahead and said, hey, they're telling you to... Yeah, hit a superplex from the top rope. See what happens now. With that Big Show and Mark Henry Vengeance 2011. Then the tempo of this one picks up, but Taker still ain't impressed as we see the finish.
What on earth is this?
Not happy. Submission locked in and a quick tap out by Laurel.
Now, one thing I want to point out is that even though the match was mid, Tyra was still showing off more heel work in this one, and I don't think I saw her smile at all. Like, even at the end of this match, for example, she goes ahead and hits one more little kick after she's won the match on Lee Laurel, which I thought was great. I still believe both of these women can turn it around. Sometimes you gotta survive the night before you can go again tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I think we need to take a step back to take a step forward.
I see a lot of work. We got to do a lot of work.
Did you think it was good?
I thought it was better than my tag match.
I'll be honest, Tyra, that silence was not convincing at all. Then Bubba asks Lee if she thinks it was a good match, and she's also not convincing.
Lee, did you think this match was good?
Sure, I mean, it wasn't executed the way
You guys don't even sound confident in your answers.
If you look at it at a certain time of year, at a certain time of day, localized entirely within Seymour's kitchen.
You can roll your eyes all you want. You didn't roll your eyes at anybody else.
I'll be honest, she didn't roll her eyes at all. I mean, come on. She literally just looks up because she's trying not to cry, dude. It happens. You know what Tyra was probably actually thinking? She was probably like, I really hope that BJ Ray doesn't get sent home later in the episode. You know what? Never mind. BJ, you're fired. Drake Moreau says he's confident for his match. Given his experience, whatever happens, he can make it work. Speaking of things working, Drake's theme, Loki a bop.
One fall. Introducing first, representing Team.
Yeah, man. Bubba got some moves, man. Oh, yeah. Come on, Bubba. Then Bubba stresses how he wants Troy to succeed.
You can't let this go to waste. You can't let it go. I want him to succeed. I want Troy to succeed.
The twist with Moreau versus Yearwood is that they think their match is only slated for 4 minutes, but they're gonna have an additional 3.
Who is cruising until right there.
If you can't do the move, don't do the move.
Then this next bit is just downright embarrassing.
Missed by a foot. Missed by a foot and a half.
What was that?
3 misses.
What was that?
By at least a yard.
Then Troy gets the news about the randomizer for this match.
Troy, we've got 3 more minutes added to your time from the back. 3 more minutes added to your time. 3 more minutes. Keep moving, keep moving. Got 3 more minutes added to your time, all right?
Honestly, I'd like to go ahead and revoke the extra 3 minutes that these guys are getting and give them to Xena Sterling. But then Taker is disappointed because they used the 3 minutes terribly by just wasting time outside the ring.
All right, well, 3 extra minutes. Let's see what they do with it. No.
An opportunity for 3 extra minutes to prove yourself, and you're gonna can him to the floor.
The judges spend the majority of this episode realizing most of these people are not future greats.
There's no sense of urgency in what he did, right? Throw him out, take him off.
That 3 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we see even more utterly embarrassing punches from Yearwood.
Oh my God.
Another foot. Another foot. Another foot.
What is Bro's beef with Oxygen? He's been fighting it this whole match. Then right at the end, as we see the finish, Troy finally starts to lay in some forearms, which actually look pretty good.
Forearms are good, though.
He should be doing that
That's
the
what
whole
he should be
time.
doing. He showed those the whole time.
Have an exclamation point right here, right now, off the choke slam. Time is up.
Overall, another disappointing match. The judges' feedback very much mirrors this.
I don't know what the hell was up with those punches, bro. You don't do something that you can't do 10 times out of 10 times.
So Drake, you're a big man. Your stuff looks small.
There's no need to shame him like that. I'm sure him and Roxanne Perez are very happy. He hits her with a small package at the end of every match.
Size is a gift in this business.
Okay, this is getting out of hand. But the judges question why they did a lot wrong in that match as we see the Undertaker on the verge of a generational crash out.
Why did you throw him over the top rope to the floor?
Because we were given more time, and I was...
Look, what? Look at him. Look at him based on your answer.
You've done it now. You've gone and made a big mistake, and I can't allow any more from these future greats. We then hear from Drake Moreau, who says, you live and you learn. And Troy Yearwood says it's kind of tugging at him that he keeps bringing people down, but he's working on it. We then get ready for mixed tag action with Panina and Chris Island against Xena and Shiloh, and Booker is ready.
Come on, guys. Let's spin this bitch jump.
Speaking of Booker, he's just as unhinged as ever.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know, man.
I'm talking about Booker.
Oh. I I don't know that at all.
We also finally see the judges actually happy with something in this episode.
Command it. Command it.
The plot twist with this match is that randomly everything is going to go dark and they're gonna have to adapt to it. But before all of that, let's go ahead and hear some more compliments for Xena Sterling.
That looks like a nice roll. In control, tight, smooth, no sound.
You feature that.
Look at that, like a cat.
You know what? Let's go ahead and hear some more. Come on, I'm not done yet. Come on.
You had to improvise.
I like the struggle right there. I like the struggle right there. Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Wait, hang on a second. What's that? The crowd is chanting one more time.
Xena Sterling. The hell?
Okay, never mind. I tried to push my Xena agenda too much. But that was our first glimpse at the light flickering as they get set for their own big finish. Also, we see a fantastic bit of intensity from Shiloh Hill here.
They look like There you go! There you go, Shiloh!
My favorite thing about this random event is that everyone is selling it as if the performance center is literally falling apart.
Come on,
It's
you
the second time that
right there. Come on, what the hell happened right there?
And then the lights finally go out.
Hello?
Come on, there you go, Panina. Come on, stay on her.
Taker says this is the best night that Panina's had, and unfortunately, it's in the dark, which I thought was funny. I'm not gonna lie though, the visual of the spotlight and the fireflies in the back is kind of fire. But the match partially falls apart, causing some disdain from the judges, but it's not on the level of the other matches.
Trap the arm, trap the other arm.
Power from P Nasty. Picking up the win.
But thankfully, this match gets its props, to which I agree, it was a great match.
Nina, you did a very good job. Shiloh, great fire.
First off, Panina, you can't catch a break. This was by far your best night here, and it was in the dark. We saw enough, though. No, congratulations. You really stepped
Mickie
up.
James compliments the match, and so does Booker T.
Your task was to be able to get Panina over at the same time. That's what the true worker is. And then Panina, I've been waiting on this moment.
Next, we see Chris Island getting some feedback of the your mid variety.
Why the hell you in there stomping somebody? You don't do that well. All right, until you do that well, don't ever do it ever again.
But then we hear from Panina, Tuolepa, and Xena Sterling, who are very happy after their performance.
Been waiting for a day like where I just get good feedback back. Feels good. Feels good.
I'm so freaking happy. That was just probably one of my favorite matches of the whole show so far.
Now it was time to award the points before the loser leaves the show match. Booker opens up to give a vote to Shiloh and Panina, and Mickie says Shiloh and Xena. Taker says it's a coin toss because today was your best day, but ultimately he votes for Shiloh and Xena. And then Bubba Ray Dudley wraps up the compliment sweep for Shiloh Hill.
Shiloh, I really enjoyed your intensity today. I loved your shoulder tackles in the corner. There were so many little things that I've seen you improve on, and you earned the point. So, great job. Great job.
And then Bubba says something really cool about Xena's commitment to the business.
You told me off camera that the opening of today's match, you were inspired by watching old matches of luchadors. That screams commitment to me.
Ultimately, the points for this week go to Xena and Team Bubba and Shiloh and Team Taker. And then Mickie James talks about how heartbreaking it must have been for Chris Island to not get the point from his own legend, to which I'd go ahead and say, ha ha.
I could see as heartbreaking, as I said, Shiloh, but it doesn't do them any good to lie to them, but Shiloh was the better man.
Then we see the updated LFG scoreboard with Taker at 7 points and Bubba is now tied with Mickie at 3. Now I know what you're thinking, where's the scoreboard? That's how it looked on the episode. I don't know either. But now it was time for BJ Ray versus Cutler James. Loser leaves town. Very much a similar messy vibe here, to be honest.
Wait, why? Where are you turning
That was
to?
Oh, that was tight.
That was a shoot.
That was there.
And then Booker T, wrapping up his unhinged arc, says this.
You know what? I say get rid of both of them. Give them 2 weeks off.
Take 2 weeks off and don't come back.
And then I gotta be honest, I've joked a lot in the last 9 episodes about how I think BJ Ray is kind of funny, but brother, this finish might be the biggest abomination to my eyes since Jimmy versus Jay last year.
In the intensity from both of these individuals.
Cover.
Wow.
And Ray got him.
Oh man, BJ, would you just go ahead and look at Randy and Triple H down there for a second? Don't worry about why I've got a steel chair in my hand. I'm just kind of.
So if it was my vote, I would vote BJ Ray is out. As well as I'm out.
All of it.
This man Booker T was so disgusted he left. Mickey says BJ has personality, but Cutler is better overall, so she votes for Cutler to stay. And not that the judges are even really having a vote here, it's Bubba Ray's decision, but then Taker says there's potential there, but you got a tough decision to make, Bubba.
BJ,
Yes, coach.
you stay. Cutler, best of luck in your future endeavors.
I'm actually stunned. I cannot believe it. After all that, Cutler is fired? Now, I know this is really just them saying, hey, Cutler's on NXT now anyway. You all know this. He's in Dark State. It makes sense to just write him off, but still. For as funny as I've found BJ Ray throughout this competition, he's been rude, he's been disrespectful, he's been cheeky, and he's the one that gets to stay. Even in story, that's insane.
I'm sorry for dip around.
I don't buy the sorry bullshit from you. And you came that close.
Bubba continues saying that despite the whole ego and disrespect that BJ has, he still has a bit of an it factor and he still sees something in him. But he makes it abundantly clear that this is his last chance, and BJ says he's going to be less rude and more humble from now on.
I think, yes, coach. Yes, coach. Whatever you want, coach. So I think that's the way from this point on forward. Win this competition. Say, Bubba, where my hug at? It was never that personal, bro. It was never that deep. Let's go smoke a cigar.
Type shit. Indeed. Cutler James then talks one final time about how he's now got to figure out his way to the top, saying, it's gonna be big, it's gonna be different.